Hi, today I have two shorter wigs to review for you, both from the Belle Tress City collection. We have Manchester from the British chapter in triple chocolate rooted, and Madison from the New York chapter in the very popular color buttered toast rooted. They both have the same cap constructions. We'll take a look at them. We'll take a look at it on Manchester. So they're machine made, open wefted, and they both have a left monofilament part, and you do have that little bit of space between the seams to slightly adjust the part and still maintain the illusion of scalp with the monofilament. We have extended ear to ear lace front, and we have soft fabric covered moldable ear tabs, and we have a soft fabric covered extended nape, and the Velcro adjusters, which are, I think, the most convenient type of adjusters. So let's get Manchester on for you. Both Manchester and Madison arrived to me out of the box, right out of the box, very wearable. They didn't need any styling at all. So that's really convenient. When you don't have to put any work into the wig to make it just so for you, it's just so nice when you've got that right out of the box. You can throw and go, pop it on and wear it. Let's take a look at Manchester's lace front. Very, very nice lace front. Even on this darker color, the base color of triple chocolate rooted is a 4. So those knots just do not, it's sparsely done so that the knots aren't that noticeable at all. And I'll show you that the roomier cap on Belle Tress's average fit is very generous in the ear to ear measurement as well. So you could see my lower hairline usually is much more exposed, but I'll show you what does happen. You get all this good coverage, but if you happen to be a person like me that wears over the ear hearing devices, this is what happens all the time. The ear tabs knock my hearing aids out. So it can be, even though you get a lot of nice coverage, it can be quite inconvenient. To be honest, it frustrates me a lot. I try not to let it bother me though. But so you see, I can't even get that one back in right now. So what happens is my ears it knocks my hearing aids. My ears are even covered. So they both come down over my ears. Now, that's not a problem unless you have a petite measurement there like I do, an 11 inch, because you really can't, even if it's hidden by hair, you can get away with it being over your ear for a little while, but it really does cause quite the little stinging pain. So I have to do some adjustments and really work on getting my ears out. Now this one I can do it easily because my hearing aid's not there. But I just wanted you to be aware of that just in case you do have over the ear hearing devices. So Manchester is such a cute style, as you can see. She is a little short bob she's not really stacked very much, but it gives a stacked look because of the angle. So her bangs are, 4 to 5 inches. I get confused because there's just such a slight difference between the measurements of these two, but they're so similar. So Manchester's 4 to 5 inches, and her sides are 7 to 9 inches, and 9 inches would be the where she kind of her overall look, and her nape is 1 to 2 inches. So you can see back there, just such a cute look at the nape. I really love it. And here's this side. Yeah, she really is a cute, fun style. And both Madison and Manchester came right out of the box like this, ready to wear. I did not have to do anything at all to them. And of course, I think you all know that Belle Tress is known for their low density wigs, and particularly the City collection. I've tried on, and I own quite a few of them, and they all really are low density. The only one I think that's a little bit outside of the box is Capri. Beautiful, beautiful long wavy piece. Capri does feel slightly like a little bit more hair than typical in the City collection. But if you're new to wigs and you don't want an overwhelming amount of hair, Manchester and Madison are perfect because they come straight out of the box ready to wear, and their density is just such a comfortable, a normal feeling amount of hair on your head. It's not overwhelming. Now sometimes you want that fuller look, a little bit more glamour, but these are, I think, really, really cute everyday styles. I'll give you one more look at Manchester. Yeah, really, really cute. And I do want to mention, you can see these monofilament parts on the City Collection. They are a little bit extended compared to some. And they give that little bit of a cow lick. A cow lick. I always want to say cowl, like a cowl sweater. I haven't done any work to either of them in this area yet. And even though I have worn them, it hasn't really bothered me, but I still might like to do a little bit of work because with a hot comb, you can smooth that down a little bit more. So now let's take a look. My Manchester in Triple Chocolate Rooted is such a rich color. It is a neutral brown, so the base color is a 4, and it is highlighted with a 10, which is just a lighter brown. It does give, I hope my lighting today can pick it up, a little bit of a gingery tone to that 10 highlight. And they say that it's rooted with a 4, which is a medium dark brown. So 2 and 4 are pretty dark, but it's not as dark as 1 and 2. Black, darkest brown is 2, and then we have the 4. So it's still in the dark brown family for sure. But because her overall base is a 4, you don't really see a rooting per se, but it does just have a subtle amount of ginger light brown highlights. And I really love the color. I really do. My Capri is in this color as well. So now let's take a look at Madison. Here's Madison. So as I said, this color, Buttered Toast R, is so popular. And you know what? I love the overall look of it, but I'll tell you the truth. I've worn Manchester much more than I've worn Madison. The handful of times that I wore Madison, I got compliments from many people. It was at a party and also out for lunch with my husband, and the server actually complimented my hair, which is kind of neat that a server took the time to do that. So I think people like Madison's style because it's just very cute and realistic. But for me, the color is a little bit two-dimensional. I'm just not comfortable with it out in public very much. But I have made myself do it because I love the overall tone of it. But it just has made me be aware that in Belle Tress styles in the City Collection, I need to be very careful choosing colors because most of the colors, especially the more blonde ones, which this really isn't a blonde, but all the blondes are very variegated. They're very dimensional. And the one that was not super dimensional and was a more blended blonde, they discontinued. That's my favorite, Beige Linen Blonde R. But anyway, so I don't wear my Madison that much because outside in natural daylight, I have a big window right here. So it really does highlight how variegated and not chunky, they're not huge, but they're just so variegated. I just am not that comfortable in it yet. But let's look at her style. She's a very cute, just little bit of a shattered, layered bob. So now I said they're very similar measurements. So her bangs, Madison's bangs, are 4 to 5, and her sides are 6 to 9. So they both give an overall look of 9 inches, but Manchester is 7 to 9 and Madison is 6 to 9. And Madison has a slightly longer nape at 2 inches. And Madison is 1 ounce lighter than Manchester. Manchester's 3.5 ounces and Madison is 3.4. So they look completely different because of this little shattered layered waves going on here. So they look really different, but they are very similar on paper in their measurements. So now the color, Buttered Toast Rooted. Let me just look. Yes, it's an 8 base, whereas we have a 4 base for Manchester. So this is more of a medium brown base, and it is also rooted with the medium brown. And the highlighting on Buttered Toast Rooted is 11 and 22, and it's a very ashy 22. So it gives an overall cool tone. Manchester Triple Chocolate, I think I mentioned to you, is a neutral tone. So I do love the way it looks. And as you could see, the coverage on the ear tabs, my salt and pepper just blends right in. Now, also, interestingly enough, it has very good coverage on Madison, but it doesn't quite cover my ears as much as the cap did on Manchester. You could see my ear is still bent a little. So when I wear them, I just have to slightly tweak it and adjust. I did get this hearing aid back in and it didn't flip out when I put Madison on. But let's take a look at her on all sides again. She's really super cute. And her lace front is done very well as well. Let's see. Very, very sparsely done. And I do, right where my Madison wanted to part, there is a tiny bit of extra sparseness, or a little, I don't know if you could see it, a little bald patch there. So sometimes when I do wear her, I just put a dab of dark blonde root powder and it seems to even it out a little bit better. You can also see that's that color of a wig cap I have on today. And then this whiteness is my salt and pepper hair, my gray hair there. So I just haven't bought any yet, but scar tape is a wonderful thing. I'm sure you've heard of that, to put underneath the monofilament part with the skin tone up. And then that can make that variegated of two different colors. It could be a wig grip and your gray hair. So that's a nice little trick to do. I also wanted to show you, this is my Sugar Rush E in the color Brown Sugar Sweet Cream. And Brown Sugar Sweet Cream is a neutral color, but I wanted to show you just how ashy buttered toast rooted can look beside a color that has some of the same numbers in it, some of the same codes, and they kind of look similar. But the Brown Sugar Sweet Cream, to me, appears more blended because it's the dimensionalness of having the brown and just the blonde highlight without other colors kind of bringing them together. That's what gives such a variegated look on this buttered toast R. And on the one side. So also, I could let you know, I am going to be giving Sugar Rush E a complete review pretty soon. I do have her in 2 colors. And what the E series is, Tress took some of their most popular styles from the Cafe collection, and they have revised them to include now an extended lace front, all the way into the ear tabs like the City collections are. And also they put the Velcro adjusters in. So it was a very lovely upgrade to the Cafe collection bestsellers. And I just love my Sugar Rush E. This is very blonde, but because it is, and it also is somewhat dimensional. It's not a completely blended blonde the way Beige Linen Blonde R has a much more blended look. But because the tones are all closer, for some reason it just doesn't, I'm not as shy about it as I am the color on Butter Toast Rooted. And I do have the Sugar Rush E in 2 colors. The other color is my favorite. It's just gorgeous. So check back to the channel for those upcoming reviews. And as always, thanks so much for watching. And please consider subscribing if you'd like to see more wig reviews. Thank you. Take care.